4 stocks, and 7 years ago, my teammate and I created a combo to what I think revolutionized the Melee Nation.
Happy feet, Wombo Combo. That ain't Falco. That ain't Falco.
Yeah, so that's the main story, right? Like, the Wombo Combo was actually like intended for someone. It wasn't just like on the spot. Like, Phil and Brandon didn't just make up Wombo Combo, didn't just reference a pizza for no reason whatsoever. It was intended for another crewmate, and not even me. Yeah, so it's pretty funny because like Tang and Silent Spectre and I were part of the same crew. We were the Bayesians, like the Bay Asians. And that also included a few other people like Maiko, who's been around for a while. But the person that I think really comes into the story is Zhu and Spectre, who the Wombo Combo was originally intended for. Not me.
We were in a crew, but that was the Bayesians. But also, he was still one of the Fox players I always want to defeat. He's a great person. We're good friends. It's just something in my body makes me want to just take out his Fox.
So like Lunin is another Bayesian, right? He's like part of the crew, and here we have like these 2 other guys who team together a lot and like do these crazy combos. Like they're trying to come up with a combo specifically on another crewmate.
And it all just happened on a random Saturday morning where I gave Silent Spectre a call, and I said, hey, let's just practice some team combos. And then eventually, we just created a Wombo Combo. And that specific combo was specifically targeting Zhu and Spectre because we had rivalries in NorCal. So that was the one combo that I wanted to destroy his Fox. No one really knew what it was. No one believed it. Some people said it was a myth. And what happened at that tournament 7 years ago, everybody was screaming Wombo Combo, Wombo Combo. They never seen it, they want to see it. So I said, okay, let's do it. Homemade Waffles, Brandon, knew about the combo, so that's why he was screaming Wombo Combo before it happened.
Happy feet, Wombo Combo.
And just what happened while we were doing it, Zhu became a victim. He was just at the wrong place at the right time.
So, like, the combo itself happened, and in my perspective, like, it wasn't a big deal. Because I played Silent Spectre and Tang in teams in NorCal every week, essentially, and I would get second, and they would do something kind of similar, like not so thorough, I guess. But they would basically do that to me all the time. Like, I didn't even hear the commentary. Like, I didn't know that Wombo Combo even existed until people like hit me up on Facebook and they're like, oh, haha, check out this video. And I check it out and it already had like tens of thousands of views, which like back then was a really big deal, right? You did not have a video that had that many views that fast. I didn't really like know what that meant until like I went to ROM 1 or like an out-of-state tournament where people were actually just like referencing, oh, Zhu, where are you currently located from like across the venue?
Oh my, where are you currently located? Nice save, man.
I would say for a few years, like my perspective again is, you know, I would get stuff like that. It's really just the smashers who kind of reference it. And you know, it's just like a joke, like kind of like a meme. No one's giving me a hard time for it. It's mostly like a funny, like lol, haha, like you got messed up. But then I guess like other esports and other games started picking it up.
Wait, it's only one person! There it is! The 4-man Wombo Combo! 5-man Requiem Assault! The Combo Wombo!
Oh my god. Oh my god, Wombo Combo! Wombo Combo! Wombo Combo!
when the Wombo Combo actually happened, I'm already kind of a mess when it came to teams in the first place. You know, it's a 2 versus 1. Lucky gets killed, I get killed, I respawn. I think I immediately go down. I don't know if I actually waited or not. I just like go down, I just rush into it because like I've already accepted my fate. They each have like 2 stocks. I'm like, there's 0% chance I'm gonna win this, right? So I might as well just like fight a little bit and see what happens. But then like, you know, I get grabbed. I've already experienced this so many times. When I get grabbed, something bad is gonna happen, so I get very flustered. I literally don't know what's about to hit me. And so I get hit with like a bunch of these attacks. The sequences, the regrab, the up smash, the back throw, shine up smash. And so like, if you imagine the sequence, it's a bunch of moves and then shine up smash, and then between the up smash and the knee, there's a little bit of time, right? During that time, that's the first time I regained consciousness, so to speak, right? Like I actually like regained composure for a little bit. And you know what I thought during those moments? I'm gonna fucking bust her out and I'm gonna reset the game. That's what I thought. So I was like, I had my thumb over the pause button and I was about to do the hardest rage quit that could have happened, but I guess I decided not to, because obviously there was no pause, right? If we just like went back in time and like did some like butterfly effect, I could have very well have pressed pause and been like a 10 million view rage quitter, but I'm not. And I'm happy about that. So the thing that really stood out to me where I knew like Wombo Combo was actually really big was when I lived in Fremont, and my housemates are League of Legends fans, and they know that I do the Smash stuff. Like they know that like I was the Wombo Combo victim, right? But they're in a game together, and they basically like destroy this guy, and they actually start yelling out the Wombo Combo lyrics without realizing that I'm in the room, without trying to make fun of me for any particular reason. I made eye contact with them, they looked at each other, and then they just started like laughing really hard because like, you know, it's that realization where they're making this joke without even realizing the guy it was about was in the room. That for me was when like I really knew that the Wombo Combo was like a really legit big thing. Like sometimes people might tell me like, oh, like I watched like Happy Feet a really long time ago, and it's like, oh, you know, that inspired me to play Falco, you know? And that makes me feel great. That's more like inspiration based, right? No one, I feel like, watches Wombo Combo and says like, wow, I'm inspired to play. Well, maybe they do. Maybe they watch that video and they're like, well, I want to pair up with like my friend and beat up on someone that bad. I don't know. I feel like it's very hard to turn away from something like the Wombo Combo. It's a very like sharp, memorable video. You see that, you're gonna go to the side and you're gonna look up Smash videos, and that's not an uncommon story. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't really do very much, right, in this Wombo Combo thing, but like the moment created by like SS, Tang, Phil, Brandon, Mango, Bobak, like all the guys who even had that little soundbite, like people remember that stuff, and that's what made it into like the amazing video that it is. For like every single view that this video gets, that gets like another person interested in Smash and part of this like vortex that is competitive Smash, it's really important. Because any one of these people could be like the next Prague, the next TO who like supports their region, the next Armada. I think it's great that people are getting into the Melee scene or the Smash scene because it's like, it's a beautiful game, it's a beautiful community. I think it's kind of funny that it's the Wombo Combo of all things, which is like, I guess representative of Melee at the time, even though it's like way far out there. But I think that's fine, and I think it's good.
To this day, I still can't believe, you know, you never know when a good thing happens until it happens. So for Wombo Combo to be as big as it is, I'm actually really flattered. I honestly I didn't think that it was gonna be this popular.
Back then, like teams weren't as solidified, like you would just team with whoever was open. And at the time, like Mango and Lucky were the team in SoCal, but like they were deemed too broken to really team at any locals or even regionals at that point. So I guess I just teamed with Lucky, and I don't think we ever teamed past that point.
You said you had a. Oh wait, no, yeah. That was at the Getty. You said you had
That four stocks.
Yeah, the Getty thing.
Yeah. That was How was that? There were actually a couple people that walked up to me and say, "You're Tang." So what happens is I always introduce myself as my name, not my tag. My name is Mitchell, so I introduce my name as Mitchell. Then they ask me what's my tag, and I will say, "Oh, I'm Tang." They're like, "Oh wow, so you're Wombo Combo, the Wombo Combo." I was like, "Yes, I am."